Hi, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Kate. I like to make clothes here on YouTube and talk about thrifting and fashion, so if you're into those kinds of things, make sure you subscribe. Today we're gonna attempt to make a new summer wardrobe in a week. I've been super excited about this video because I'm ready to start working on some of my summer project plans, some knitting, sewing, embroidery, just like summery projects. First, we have to start with the planning stage, which was made super easy with the sponsor of this video, Milanote. If you haven't used Milanote before, what are you doing? It's a creative's dream tool. Think mood boarding, planning, organizing, everything into one visual workspace. It truly is one of my favorite tools that I use in my creative process. I'm always recommending it to people, and obviously I'm going to use it today to plan out some of my summer projects. Some people ask me about my planning process, so I kind of wanted to walk you through how I use Milanote. The way that I typically start my mood boarding process is just curating a vibe, to be honest. Since this is making my summer wardrobe, I basically just dump all ideas and images that scream summer to me. I'm talking outfits, summer activities, summer colors, summer vibes, pretty much. And from there, I put myself into that vibe and base my projects off of that. The main board is my inspiration landing page, and then I break off the specific projects into their own boards, which I have on one side here. Then for those projects, I gathered some visual inspiration of similar projects I found online. I can add notes, images, videos, tasks, and more. My favorite part is that I can add links to patterns and video tutorials that I can come back to and reference anytime, and I don't have to go searching the internet for a video I watched weeks ago. Milanote makes starting a new project easy with over 100 built-in templates available for every type of creative project. For example, I used the mood board template to plan for this polka dot scarf that I want to make. I add color samples, photos, references, what supplies I need / what I already have. And when I say that I use Milanote to organize my entire life, like, I really mean it. In addition to planning big projects, I've also used Milanote as a fiber library where I put all of the yarns I've organized by weight. I want to start off a fabric library as well. I also have an actual reference library where I organize reference books related to fiber arts and such. I can share that with you guys if you're interested. Let me know. I recently moved into a new apartment, so I've created a board centered around decorating my new space, and the best part is they recently launched their new mobile app, so I use it on desktop, my iPad, and my iPhone, and everything is synced, so I can add to it whatever device I'm on. This is especially good if I'm out thrifting or shopping for supplies, so I remember exactly what I'm looking for. When you're ready to share your work, you can invite others to gather important feedback and collaborate with them in real time. For example, I shared this board with one of my fiber friends to get their feedback on the designs and see if I should add anything else to it. And finally, Milanote is available for free with no time limit, so sign up for a free Milanote account with the link in the description. I'll definitely be referencing these more throughout the video because it is like a landing page for all of these ideas. Thanks again to Milanote for sponsoring this video. It's so fitting because I was going to use Milanote to plan all of these projects anyways. Let's start making my summer wardrobe. So we're going to start off with this green meshy layering skirt. I feel like I was going back and forth whether I wanted to knit or crochet this type of skirt. I pulled like a bunch of reference images, but at the end of the day, I just love the way that knitting drapes, so I think I am going to knit this. The drape of a knit mesh is just... I also saved this pattern in my board. It's the Lapo lime skirt, which I'm obsessed with. My friend Zoe made it. I really like it. However, I feel like this skirt is more fitted than I would like this to be. I want it to be like really flowy. I feel like I'm a flowy clothing person, so I did already buy that pattern. I think I'm going to use what they used in the pattern for the waistband and then kind of freestyle after that and just like play around a little bit. I would like to make the lime skirt in the future for a specific occasion. I just really have a vision of what I want this to look like for now. I want to be able to wear it over jeans, capris, like anything. As far as yarn goes, I bought a bunch of this Adrian Vittadini Felicia yarn. I bought this at the Wayshed in Evanston, and I think I paid $16 for 4 balls, so it's a pretty good deal. But yeah, it's this nice, almost like textured cotton yarn. It's nice and soft. I feel like it's gonna drape super nicely. And then I also have some elastic for the waistband because I could not knit or crochet anything without a tie or elastic, but that is what we're gonna start with today. So I'm gonna do the provisional cast on, and then it's actually really nice outside, so I think I'm gonna go knit, but I feel like I need to do the cast on and like focus here before I go out and do some stockinette knitting. So let's cast on our first project. Time for the provisional cast on. I've never done this type of cast on before. I will say it made it a little bit easier, I think, since I already know how to crochet doing that hand movement, but definitely either way, give it a try. I'm going to be using it again because once you get the hang of it, it honestly isn't too hard. Okay, so I finished the provisional cast on, but now basically this is like a waist thread, and then I'll knit my normal yarn onto the needles, and then I'll be like taking this out later on and like joining the two ends together. And then I'll be sandwiching this elastic in between the waistband. So that's how we're gonna start out. And then I guess from here, I'm just gonna kind of wing it. Then I worked on this skirt for the next couple days, kind of overlapping with these other projects, but this is one project that I could kind of just take around everywhere with me, so that's what I did. Okay, you guys, after many hours, the skirt is finally done. It took me a few days to finish for sure. It's just very repetitive, so there was no like break point, if that makes sense. It just felt like it took me forever, but so worth it, you guys. It's been a long time since I made something that I really like. Honestly, don't know if you guys noticed, but I've been in such a knitting slump, to be honest. I've been trying new projects, but not really liking or like loving what I've been making. Like things are okay here and there, but it's just been putting me in a big slump. But now I think I'm out of it because I love this skirt. So here is the skirt. I was a little bit worried that it was going to be too flared out because I didn't adjust any of the stitches or anything from the cast on. I literally just knit a really meshy tube with like US 19 needles. Like they were chunky. They were chunky needles, but the waistband was super clean. Like this is the first time I've done the provisional cast on, and it's similar to the pattern that I bought earlier, the La Pole lime skirt pattern. It was similar, but my elastic was a little bit thicker, so really not the same at all, but like same technique. But I'm really glad that I learned how to do that because it's so neat. Like look at that. The drape is just perfect. I love it so much, and I'm gonna wear it today. I think I'm gonna go sit by the lake and do another project, which you guys will see in a second. Love it. Love the color. This yarn, I think I used 3 balls of the yarn. It was only $12 for all of the yarn. I definitely will be making another one of these. I love that the yarn also had like a little bit of variation with the weight of the yarn. Like some of it is thinner in other parts and other part is thicker. It adds like a lot more interesting texture if you can see it on camera. Okay, I'm trying it on the shorts for YouTube, but this is what it looks like. Truly the perfect beach/summer skirt. Like I'm so excited to wear this with a bikini, or even like a one-piece swimsuit would be a cute outfit. She took me a long time, but I think I'm gonna make another one of these. Also, now that I finished the skirt in a way that I really like, if I want to duplicate it, I'm going to write everything that I did in my Mila note board, so the next time if I'm like thinking of making this again, I can go back and see all my inspo, but also have the pattern there with me. I kind of know like what I used, what needles I used, how many stitches I casted on, because I feel like I always forget that kind of stuff. So having it all in one place is such a game changer, and I take pictures of my yarn and then I put it in the board. So in the future, if I want to go back to it, I can know which yarn I use, because I feel like I'm always forgetting unless I write it down somewhere. So having like a picture of it and the name of it, so you know kind of like, because a lot of the stuff I buy is like vintage or secondhand, or just stuff that you can't like normally find at a local yarn store. If I wanted to go get the same yarn, I can remember what it is, so I can go look it up on eBay, because sometimes you can find stuff on eBay if you can't find it near you. That's what I'm gonna do right now. I'm gonna put all of this info into my mesh layering skirt Mila note board, and then yeah, let's move on. We have a really nice rainy day here, which means we're busting out the sewing machine. I really want to make this airy side tie type of summer top. I'm not a great seamstress, so I want to do something super simple. I just bought this pattern online. It's called the Lila Ruffle Side Tie Tank Sewing Pattern. That was a long name, but it seems super simple. I was able to go to the library to print it out earlier before it started raining, so I didn't have to walk in the rain. I also did get my 10,000 steps before it started raining. So I got my pattern here. I'm gonna put it together and cut it out. So typically I buy vintage sewing patterns from the thrift store and stuff. I don't often buy them off Etsy, so I always forget how tedious this part of the process is. Taping all your sheets together and then cutting everything out. But I just saw a hack that someone posted on TikTok where they cut the corners and then everything lines up and you don't have to cut around the edges. I'm gonna link it down below because I'm definitely gonna try this very soon. Okay, I haven't even started sewing yet and I already need a snack. So this is my favorite snack right now. I put peanut butter, dark chocolate chips, cinnamon, Okay, now I'm all fueled up to sew because I feel like sewing when you're hungry is actually like a nightmare. I have this plaid fabric and I know what you're thinking. This is like the least summery fabric ever, but I feel like it is more my palette. Then I can wear it in the fall too. I can layer it over this shirt. More than anything, I don't want to buy more fabric, to be honest. I spent a lot of money last month, so I'm trying to keep the buying new stuff to a minimum, and this I bought a while ago and I haven't used it yet, and it was only $6. So this is what we're gonna use for the top today. It says I need like 1.5 yards for the size that I cut out, so I think we should be good. And also, this is only 3 pattern pieces. Like, I feel like this is gonna be pretty quick. I honestly need to read the directions. Definitely read all of the instructions before you start. Got the machine out, got all my pieces cut out. The only thing is I don't think I have matching thread, to be honest. I might just have to use like white or black, which I don't know if that will look bad, but like what are you gonna do, you know? I swear I just bought some brown thread too, but I don't know where it is. That could honestly probably work better. I'm also literally sweating, so I'm gonna change into a t-shirt and then we're gonna start sewing. Sometimes people ask like, what do you listen to or what do you watch while you sew or do any crafting? And literally I've been doing this in silence for like 2.5 hours. Like sometimes I get so dialed in I don't even need to listen to anything. Okay, so I finished the top last night. I was low-key crashing out a little bit because I was super hungry, but I was like, I need to finish this before I eat dinner. I don't know if you guys are like that too, but I'm always like sewing and I'm like, if I take a break right now, like I'm not gonna come back to it. I have to finish it now. So here is the final product. It probably does need another press. Like this lighting is making it look super wrinkly, but I love it. It's so fun. I wore it out this morning. I'm wearing a little t-shirt underneath it because I feel like it's a little bit big. Like I could have sized down one more. It doesn't look as boxy when I have something underneath it. Sorry, there's a siren. One more thing, I do like how it is, but I feel like it could use like a little dart situation in maybe like one of the front panels. But then again, this was like a super beginner friendly pattern. Can't ask for too much, you know? You can't ask for too much for like beginner patterns, but the finished product. And like I said, you can layer this nicely in the winter. It took me about 4 hours. Like I said, I was sewing in silence for 4 hours and I posted about that on my Instagram. So many people said like, same, I love silence. To really lock in, you need it to be silent. And honestly, like, yeah, I just listened to my thoughts, which is kind of a good thing. I feel like we don't do that often. So, okay, let's move on. Something a little bit easier today. So I think what I want to do, I bought this filet crochet, I want to say tablecloth. I was thinking of making a yoke for a dress out of it. If you guys watched that filet crochet video that I did, I made this yoke of this dress and I love this dress, but I might as well skip the step of actually crocheting the whole yoke and I can make another dress like this. I think what I can do is just use this as the yoke and then find another dress at a thrift store, which we'll go to today. We'll see how it goes. Okay, I probably look crazy talking to myself, but I found this skirt that has a really pretty like opening lace thing on the back, and then I like the color of this dress. I kind of want to make it into a skirt and just cut the dress part off. And then I forgot I bought a bunch of buttons at the waist shed, so I want to do like a button upcycle, and I was thinking just like doing a simple black tank top, maybe with like a spiral or like around the neckline. Also, it would be cute on this too, but I don't know. I feel like I have so many tops like this. This thrift store is a little bit expensive, to be honest, but they do have like so much stuff. This is probably one of the bigger ones that I've been to. Okay, yeah. Sleeves are way too poofy for me. I think I'm just gonna get these 3 things. Okay, I just got home. I'm trying on the dress that I bought because this one was like $10. So I was like on the fence if I wanted to buy it or not, but I want to flip it into a skirt. The dress actually fits really well as is. So you guys might be like, why are you cutting that? The top is cute or whatever, but I just like, I don't think I like this style of neckline. Like it's not really me, I don't know. So yeah, I think I will be turning this into just like a skirt. Honestly, this is the type of fabric that doesn't really fray, so I might just cut it and like not even sew. So does this even count as an upcycle? I guess. If I'm being honest, you guys, what I should do is hem the top of the skirt, but what I'm not going to do is hem the top of the skirt because I just am feeling lazy. I have so much sewing ahead of me, and this is one of those projects where you can just like hide it with a tank top, so I'm just not even going to bother with it right now, and that's just me being realistic with you guys. So let's move on to that filet crochet project, which I'm a little bit nervous for. Okay, moving on, I have these two things that I thrifted. So this I thrifted today. It has that lace slit, and what I'm kind of debating is if I want to just keep this full length and then put the fillet portion over this fabric so I don't have to worry about lining it a certain way or whatever, and just have it kind of as an overlay. I still think it will pop enough where you can tell that there's a fillet crochet there, or if I want to do it like last time where it was kind of like above the bust line where the fillet started. I don't know, I feel like I need to just cut it out and like see it. I also want to try to use this edging as the straps. I think I just need to cut this up a little bit and see, and then like pin stuff together and kind of decide, but I just keep going back and forth. Okay, so since I was so unsure, I decided to sketch this out so I could visualize it a little bit better. Please excuse my drawing skills, but I can actually sketch directly into my Mailing board for this project, which is such a great feature, especially having pictures of the fabric right next to it. I like to do this on my iPad personally, but you can also easily do it with the trackpad if you're on desktop, or draw it on your phone. But since everything is linked through the mobile app, it'll sync to all of your devices, which is super nice. And as much as I talk out loud about my ideas, having an actual sketch of it helps me so much more. I have everything kind of pinned, and I have the strap also on, but this is kind of the vibe that I'm going for. I don't know, I kind of like it. So I think I'm gonna trim this part off and then only leave this little decal, not any of this mesh part. I think this will be super easy. Hopefully I have enough strap. I think I do. Okay, let's do some sewing. Cereal break time. I feel like I'm losing steam a bit. I also fixed a skirt for my friend Maddie, so that took me kind of a while, but I think the final project that I'm going to start tonight, I probably won't finish it tonight, but it's going to be this button upcycle tank top. So this black tank top that I bought today, I think I'm going to put some buttons just like around the neckline. I was thinking of doing a decal in the middle, but I think the neckline would be cuter and easier. I don't have to like arrange things as much. It's going to be fun. Easy project to kind of shut my brain off before I go to bed. So, but let's have our cereal first. I went for a run this morning for the first time in like a long time, and I always forget like how hungry you get when you start running again. Like I feel like I could eat, like I ate like so much today and I'm still hungry. It's good. It's good fuel for my run tomorrow. It's super hot today, so I wanted to do a little project by the lake. I bought this bucket hat, but I kind of want to do like a little embroidery situation on the front here. So I need to decide what I want to put on here, but I have this like tracing paper, so I can kind of just trace anything off of my iPad, iron it on, and then just bring it with me. But I am already wearing my swimsuit, so I want to get going so I can get some sun time. This embroidery method with the transfer paper, I always say is kind of like tattooing on fabric, but I figured out that I could lock my iPad screen so I can trace like directly off the iPad screen without it sensing my hand, if that makes sense. Maybe I'll link a tutorial down below, but this was like such a good hack. I just keep finding good hacks and I have to share them with you guys, okay? Okay, next project, I want to make a polka dot bandana scarf. I bought this fabric a few weeks ago. It's this sheer, is this chiffon? I'm not like very versed on my fabrics, to be honest. A light brown and cream polka dot fabric, and I just thought it was so dainty and cute, and like since polka dots are so in right now, kind of just wanted to like try out the trend. I'm not like super into big polka dots, but I feel like this is really cute to me. I want this to look nice, but I don't want to do too much with it. I think I'm just gonna hem a square pretty much, and this fabric is a little tricky to sew and I feel like it doesn't hide mistakes very well, so I am gonna go to Michael's right now to get a matching thread. Let's go to Michael's really quick. I haven't been to Michael's here yet, and we're gonna try to get out before it gets too hot. So let's go to Michael's. Okay, we're back. I'm so sweaty. I also got a coffee, which I've been getting coffee out a lot, which is a lot of money, and finally got like a not really good coffee. So I feel like that's a sign to cut myself off a little bit. Not the best match ever. Actually, it's not too bad. It looks a little bit warmer on camera than it is, but so I think for this project, I'm literally just gonna sew a square. I feel like that'll make it the most versatile, because then I can wear it in my hair. I also want to be able to wear it as like a bandana top and then maybe like a little beach cover up skirt situation. It's kind of a rectangle right now, so I think I'm just going to cut it into a square, and then I have a rolled hem foot that I'm going to use and try that out. Like I really want this to be very low effort, so I'm just going to hem the edges, and that's pretty much all we're going to do today. Let's cut our fabric. I'm such a fabric ripper. Like I love ripping fabric. This fabric like frays so much, so I don't think I could do that, but got our sewing machine set up. We have our fabric cut out. I actually ended up ripping it and it was fine. I am going to try to use this rolled hem foot, which is kind of difficult to learn how to use, to be honest. I remember I used it for a dress that I made like a while ago because it was kind of a slippery, tough fabric to use, and I don't like ironing this type of fabric, to be honest. I feel like you need to use like a super low temperature. It's like notoriously known for being like a difficult foot to use, but I feel like for this application, instead of like trying to deal with hemming and pinning everything, that the rolled hem foot, like once I get it working, it'll be like way faster. Okay, the first hem is done. It honestly went super well, you guys. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about is I have a problem with knowing which side is the right side of the fabric. Like some fabrics are so obvious, like obviously if there's a pattern and the other side doesn't have the pattern, that's the wrong side. Some of them are like I don't know, and I have to like inspect it, but I low-key think I hemmed it the wrong way. However, it's not a big deal. There's no way in hell that I'm picking off all of these stitches and redoing it. Like absolutely no way. So we're just gonna roll with it. Just trying to be realistic with you guys. You don't have to be perfect at sewing to make something. I'm way far from a good seamstress, so just know it's okay to make mistakes and everything's gonna work out. You live and you learn. Got it? Okay, I've hemmed all of the sides of the scarf and I love it. I love it so much. I also always forget that I have these minigru.studios tags, and this literally matches the scarf so well. So I think I'm gonna add a little tag on this. Okay, she's all done. I'm kind of obsessed. The hemming isn't perfect or anything, but honestly, it's better than some of the Shein stuff I've seen, so I'm cutting myself a break here. Once you start sewing, you realize like how much commercially made clothes, especially if it's fast fashion, stuff that you see at the thrift store, like the seams on things are like not good. But then again, like if you aren't paying attention, like you probably won't notice, which is why I'm a little bit less hard on myself when it comes to sewing, because like I see some of the stuff at the stores that are like horribly sewn. You don't notice it unless you're really looking for it. So I'm gonna be styling it more in the try on portion later in this video, but let's move to the next project. Okay guys, last but not least, what is a summer wardrobe without a bikini? I've talked about this before, but swimsuits are honestly one of my favorite things to make. I feel like buying them retail is kind of expensive, so I just choose to make my own most of the time. I think most of the swimsuits in my wardrobe now are handmade. Even though the type of fabric is a little bit more expensive, you can still save a lot of money because you really only need like a yard and a half for most sizes. This is the fabric I'll be using. It's this nice paisley 70s-esque fabric. I love the color palette on this. I feel like a lot of the times paisleys are like brighter colors. As far as the pattern, I bought this one off of Etsy. You can really make your own just by tracing like a swimsuit that you already have, which is what I normally do, but I don't know where those patterns are right now, to be honest, and I don't want to trace a new one. So I just bought one, cut it out. It was like a few dollars. Another pro of making your own swimsuits is you can make different styles in the same fabric to mix and match. Even though I'm making one swimsuit today, I have enough fabric to make another pair of bottoms and maybe another top, and I'm gonna do everything on my serger today, but you can definitely do this on a sewing machine. I don't want to hear it. I know my rotary cutter is so dull. I'm like really struggling to cut this out, but I want to upgrade my tools soon, so my serger has been fighting me quite a bit, so you guys don't even want to know how long sewing 3 straps took me. I did this off camera because it's my least favorite part of making swimsuits is the frickin' straps. Now that we have these done, I think we can get the top done very quickly. And I also just started Love Island last night because I want to catch up. I think I'm like 2 weeks behind, but I have FOMO, so I'm watching it, and it's been good entertainment. Okay, I finally finished. It really should not have taken me as long as it did. I need to multiply the duration that I think something will take me by like 2 every time, because this took me like 5.5 hours, almost 6 hours actually. Here are the bottoms, and then it's just a classic triangle top. I'm kind of obsessed with it. I already tried it on and it's honestly perfect. I love the fabric. I feel like the fabric is very my speed, like color wise. I need to clip some of these like excess threads off, but I'm super excited to add this to my wardrobe, but I think I need to tap out. I'm like exhausted from making all of this stuff this week, but it was a really good way to like get some creativity flowing. So let's do a whole try on. Okay, it's been a week since we started this video, so I think I need to cut myself off. There's a few other things that I wanted to make for this video, but I think I'm gonna wait on them a little bit and you guys will see me make them in future vlogs and stuff like that. But I had so much fun at making my summer wardrobe. So starting off with this bucket hat. I just did this embroidery while I was hanging out outside. This pattern I traced from, I think it was like a pattern from the 40s, like an old embroidery pattern. I do wish I did it a little bit further down so you could see it more when it's on, but I still really like it. I think the pattern is super like sweet and summery and just very cute. Next is this polka dot scarf. There's literally so many different ways to wear this. I'm super excited about this. It isn't like a perfect square, so sometimes it can get a little funky, but this was definitely one of the first projects that was on my summer project plans, or like planning this video out, that I wanted to make, so I'm super happy that it did come into fruition. Also, polka dots are super in right now, and it's always fun to kind of play into the trends a little bit. And then we have the button tank top. This was just like a super easy, I think it took me like an hour to put all these buttons on. Super easy upcycle project, and it's a good way to use up all these buttons that I had, and it's making me want to make more button upcycle type of projects. Then we have this plaid top. I love this top, you guys. I've been wearing it a lot, to be honest, since I made it like a few days ago, but I wore this to the beach, and then I also wore it over a dress. I feel like it's something that's just super easy to style. You can wear it so many different ways. You can wear it over a baby tee, a dress, a long sleeve, or even just like by itself. One thing that I said earlier is that I would add some darts to the front just to make it a little bit more shaped, but now that I have the pattern, I can always adjust it and kind of know what to expect. It wouldn't be too hard to add some darts or something like that. Okay, I don't think the skirt really counts as me making it, but I feel like I'm gonna put it in anyways. It's kind of like an upcycle because there was a dress portion at the top. I wasn't really feeling the dress portion, so I just made it into a skirt. You really can just like fold the waistband in so you can't see the raw edge. My summer uniform is like a tank top and a long skirt, so this will be perfect to add to my summer wardrobe. Next we have this upcycled dress. So this was a filet crochet curtain or tablecloth, and then this nice slip skirt, and I just love how dainty and pretty this is. I feel like you could just throw this on over a swimsuit. It is a little bit see-through, so it might be a little bit challenging to style, but I think it's gonna be a lot of fun to wear this summer, and it's just very dainty and pretty and girly. And then the skirt, you guys, I am obsessed with this. I've already worn it. I just love the drape. Everything worked out perfectly how it was in my head, which rarely happens. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but I've been in such a slump with knitting or just like making stuff in general. I feel like I've been trying to make things and they don't fit right, or I just don't love them. But this is something that I made and I actually really like it. The waistband is super neat, probably up there with one of my favorite things that I've made this year so far, and I want to make another one. To be honest, it's just the perfect summer project. And then last but not least, we have this bikini. Love this fabric. Like, I've been obsessed with it since I bought it. I bought like 3 yards of it for like $12, I think. The colors are perfect. I really like the pattern that I used. I feel like I just really like the classic triangle bikini tops, but yeah. And I have so much more of the fabric, so you guys know I'll be making mix and match pieces. So that is everything that I made this week for my summer wardrobe. Thank you again to Milanote for sponsoring this video. Thanks to Milanote, I was able to plan everything out, and now if I want to make these things again in the future or see more inspo pictures, I can go back to those boards and it's all in one place. Yeah, I actually do use Milanote like anytime I'm planning a new project, just to have all of my thoughts in one area. I highly encourage you guys to check it out and get those ideas down. Get those ideas down before they fly out of your brain. That's what happens to me all the time, at least. I like to just add pictures as I go. I can organize them later on or make them into their own boards. And remember, it is free to sign up, so why not give it a shot? Let me know your favorite piece from this video in the comments, or anything that you want to make for summer. We can kind of bounce ideas off of each other. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like. Make sure you subscribe. It really helps me out, and I'm so grateful if you already are subscribed. I love you so much. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!